Hello and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Is Lewis Jackson right? Is this why XRP will make you rich? Okay guys, got a good one here for you. So we have a video by Lewis Jackson and he's, as the title says, he's talking about why he believes XRP will make you rich. So gave this a watch as I found it interesting from the title, and yeah, it's generally a good video, and as always I do just want to add my little 2 cents in here, but I do think there's very good points that have been made here, and for the most part I don't think he's wrong. Like, I do think he's pretty much bang on the money with the things that he is saying, but the only thing I will say when we do get into this is that this is the one thing about this. When it comes to like XRP making people rich and that kind of thing, what people have to understand is, even if you have the opportunity, it doesn't mean that you can't mess up the opportunity, right? So when we talk about that, like for example, if you're in a bull run, right, and you're looking at a great amount of money that you could sell and you'd have a huge profit, but you're thinking the market's going to go higher, the market's going to go higher, it's going to go higher, and then it goes into a bear market, you've missed your chance, right? Now, I'm not saying that you won't have the opportunity again, but you could have to wait a good amount of years to get that opportunity back. So there's definitely factors at play here that is not necessarily just about whether it can make you rich. It comes down to like yourself as well. Like, you are going to play a very big part in whether you are successful in making money out of XRP. The other thing is like panic selling, right? Like, when there's bad news about XRP and stuff like that, some people just panic sell and they'll just be like, oh, I'm just getting out, like I can't take this, or they hear some bad news and just think, oh, it's game over, XRP's done, and then you see a few months later the price rebounds and surpasses the dip. So there's these kind of factors where you've got to have a very good mental stability to be able to handle the ebbs and flows of the market, because it is volatile. So you've definitely got to have a very strong mind about you. And you've got to have a lot of conviction in your investment, right? So I definitely think that plays a significant part in this. But let's get into this, and so we can discuss this a little bit further. So the first thing he talks about is in regards to people not wanting to sell their XRP. And he says himself, he's not selling a single XRP. He's not intending to do this. And so he's talking that he understands people who are also, of the similar mind frame. Now, my thing with this is, I don't disagree with him if that's what he wants to do. The thing that I will just say this to you guys is, you've got to understand that everybody's in different positions in life, right? So Lewis may be in a position where he doesn't need to sell XRP, right? Like, Lewis is a successful YouTuber. He's basically diversified in terms of his business. He's now not just doing YouTube, he's doing courses and stuff like that. He's a mentor, he does those kind of things. So Lewis is quite successful at what he's doing, right? This is his career now. And so he may not need to sell XRP. Do you see what I'm saying? And so my thing here for this is, it really does depend on your personal circumstances and what you believe. Now, I will just tell you this, for me personally, I will sell some XRP in the bull run. I'm telling you that now. I'm not just going to hold on to all my XRP forever. I'm definitely selling some. I'm not saying I'm selling my whole bag. No, definitely not. But I'm not going to sit here and not sell any XRP, because to me, it doesn't make sense. Because yes, I'm definitely willing to keep some for the long term to see where all this can go. But why am I not going to want to better my financial situation now? Like, if I'm in a position to do that now, I'm going to do that. So if I see, XRP blow past to a new all-time high, and let's just say it gets to like $10, $20, maybe more. Yeah, like for me, even if it's me selling like 20% of my XRP or, 30%, whatever, why would I not do that in that situation, right? Like, I'm definitely going to take some profits, 100%. So again, I'm not saying I'm selling all my XRP, but for me personally, I'm definitely selling some. But again, I'm in a different situation to Lewis, right? And this is why I'm saying with Lewis, he could have a lot more cryptos that he's a lot more heavily invested in other than just XRP. I am too. I'm diversified. So I'm not saying that XRP is my only crypto. I have about 15 to 20 different cryptos. So I'm not saying that I'm just relying on XRP, but at the same time, I'm not invested in all those cryptos just to not sell XRP at all. I'm definitely willing to sell some of my XRP when it goes for a profit, because even just in terms of what we've had to deal with, like the lawsuit and all that kind of stuff, it's like, man, we've had to go through so much. I want some reward at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we've definitely owed that. So, you know, for the guys who feel like, you know, never sell, know what you hold, fair play to you guys. If that's what you want to do, hey, I'm not against it. That whatever your investment strategy is, that's completely up to you guys. Not a problem at all. Each to their own. For me, all I will say is, if you're thinking about how Lewis is doing it, just understand that everybody's in different financial situations. So everybody's in a different position as to why they might want to sell or not want to sell their XRP. Some people just simply may not need to. I don't think Lewis is someone who needs to. I think he's got a very successful career in what he's doing. So I don't think he's really in a position where he needs to sell XRP right now. I think he is in a position where he can wait long term if he needs to. I don't think it's going to affect him. So I understand his position in that sense, but not everybody else is going to be in that same boat. So I'm just trying to make you understand that when you do hear this, don't necessarily just take that at face value, because other people are in different circumstances which may affect their decision. Okay, so then he talks about having a balanced portfolio, and this is where, you know, we should take profits along the way. So that's just basically saying a diversified portfolio, right? Like not necessarily just being in one crypto. And in regards to taking profits along the way, I guess he's talking about other cryptos, right? So maybe holding onto XRP for the long term, but using other cryptos. Again, if that's a strategy that works for you, fine. I hold 15 to 20 different cryptos. I'm still willing to sell XRP, not all of it, but I'm still willing to sell some regardless. That's just me personally. But I don't believe some of the things that's out there anyway. So for me, that's what makes a big significant difference. I don't believe in some of the high price theories and stuff like that. So that's where like my mentality can differ from some people as well. But yes, in regards to the balanced portfolio, yeah, if you guys are thinking, well, I want to have other cryptos that I'm willing to sell, that way I can just keep a hold of my XRP, cool. Then, like you say, we can then use the other cryptos to take the profits and keep hold of the XRP. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. If that's the strategy that you want to use, not a problem. It makes sense to me. So then he starts to talk about, you know, the assets that we do continue to hold. So again, we're talking about XRP here, right? We're talking about the cryptos like utility. So I'm assuming when he's talking about this, he's talking about like XRP, XLM, XDC, like these types of cryptos, right? And he's saying, you know, what would you do with those cryptos? Because we keep talking about selling cryptos because, you know, we want to take some profit along the way. We want to, you know, try and better our financial situations and whatnot. But what do we do with the cryptos that we hold? And then he goes talking about how in the older days, it would be cash that you would be holding on to. And you might hold this physically in cash. You know, some people have, as they used to say, under the mattress kind of thing. Or some people might hold it in a bank. And, you know, we all know in a bank, you're barely getting any interest, right? You're getting like 0.5 or something crazy like that, 0.1, you know, really literally pretty much no interest on it whatsoever. And so it's a depreciating asset, right? Because when you think about inflation, well, your purchasing power is going down because inflation is rising, but the value of that money is not appreciating. Like you're not earning enough money in interest to fight inflation. So your purchasing power is going down. So ultimately, the money that you've got in a bank is sitting there, but it's losing value. It's ultimately losing value because the purchasing power is going down. And so he's talking about, well, what would you do with these assets then in that sense? And so this is where something Lewis brought up that I thought was really a great point that someone made. And this is definitely something I agree with. And this is why I was talking about me with XRP earlier. She makes a really great point. And, you know, Lewis also said he agreed with this. He was speaking to someone on a call. And the woman said to him, if you hold an asset waiting for the long term to, you know, get your great financial gain, you're essentially losing your quality of life so that you can have a better quality of life. And that is a real great way to put it, because think about it. So let's just say XRP, because this is, what we're discussing here. People holding on to XRP, and they'll say, like, let's just say the bull run comes, and let's just say XRP gets to, let's just say $10, for example. So you're going to have guys who will be like, well, I'm not selling my XRP, not even for $10. I'm not selling it at all, or I'll never sell my XRP, or I'm not selling it until it gets to like $10,000, whatever. Okay, cool. So let's say the bull run comes and goes. So the bull run ends, XRP goes down to, let's just say, $3 from there going forward. That's its new low. That's its new local bottom, right? So essentially what you've done now, you've lost that opportunity to make some wealth, to make yourself in a better financial position. You've sacrificed that to ultimately want to be in a better financial situation. Do you see what I'm saying? It's kind of like, it kind of contradicts itself, because the whole point of why you're doing this is to better your financial situation, right? But you're waiting, which means you're missing out on an opportunity to change your financial situation right now, to wait longer to change your financial situation. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, and this is why I said to you before, I'm not saying I would sell all my XRP, but I would definitely sell some of my XRP. 100%. I'm telling you now, I will. Because if I can better my life now, then I can wait later on. But this again is where it's subjective, because it comes down to how much XRP people have. Like, if you have 100 XRP, do you really want to just use up 50 of your XRP and have 50 left? How much have you got? Because that's going to be subjective to how much you're willing to sell and whether you want to just hold for long term. So I do understand this is a very complex subject here, because it really is subjective to everybody's individual belief of what XRP can do, where it's going to go, how much they hold, how much they can afford to continue to reinvest into XRP. Like, there's different factors that really do play into this. So it really is a tricky situation, a really tricky conversation to navigate here. But yes, the main point being is, it doesn't really make sense. And that's why I'm saying to you now, for me, I'm willing to sell some XRP now, so that short term, I'm cool. Because, for example, I've got 15 to 20 different cryptos, right? Even if I don't sell all of my cryptos, I'm definitely going to sell some completely off. There's somewhere I'm going to say I'll sell 1%, XRP being one of them. And there might be some that I just say, you know what? I'm happy to just hold on to this one and just see where it goes, right? So let's just say, some cryptos I sell off, some cryptos I sell a percentage of. And from this bull run, I'm in a position now where most of my main financial concerns are no longer a worry, right? Well, in that case, then my life is so much more stress-free now, right? Because I could be sitting here thinking, well, I'm not selling at this price and, letting it come and go. But how much longer will I potentially have to wait for XRP's real long-term value to kick in? Right? Like, how long could I be waiting? I could be waiting another 3 to 5 years, right? Possible. We don't know. And so why put myself through all that and be sitting here waiting and not improving my financial situation when I could drastically do that right now, still keep XRP, so I'm not sold it all, so I've still got some for long term, and then the rest I can just sit back and relax. Do you see what I'm saying? That way you've improved your short-term financial situation, and it's not going to feel as stressful waiting for the long term. Because, man, I see it on X all the time. People are stressing when it comes to XRP. People are really frustrated. And don't get me wrong, I understand it. I'm not trying to knock people for it, but I'm just saying that people are really, it's getting to them at this point. It's frustrating for people. And I understand that. And so, would you really want to miss that opportunity to just better that situation right now? And then, you can just wait long term after that once you've, fulfilled any kind of financial obligations that you may have. To me, that just makes sense, to be honest. That really does just make sense. So, I really do agree with that point, and it was a real great point. So good of Lewis to mention that, because I think that really puts things into perspective when you think about it in that way. you're sacrificing having a better quality of life in the short term to have a better quality of life in the long term. But in the short term, you're losing your quality of life because you're stressing and you're frustrated with the price. So it's really just a contradiction, isn't it? So yeah, I thought that was a great point. But after that, we then go on to how we can utilize these assets to generate income. And this is where he goes on to mention the AMM, okay? And he's talking about how we can use the AMM to create passive income, which is a video that I covered quite a while back. He then says how we could use that passive income to then invest into another asset, like, for example, a property, which is then, again, compounding and continuing to give us a yield. So it's compounding on the interest that you're already making, right? And he's saying we can do all this without having to sell XRP. Great point. I agree. That is a great point. The one thing that I do just want to say with the AMM, you do just have to be careful because there is a danger to investing in the AMM. So I do just want to make everyone clear to be aware of that. I forgot the name of it, but gosh, I really can't remember the name of it. It's man, it escapes me right now. I'm really sorry, guys, but it escapes me right now. But there's a term for it. It's something loss. But basically, there is a danger to investing in the AMM. So I do just want to make you guys aware of that, because while I am very, very positive about the AMM and what it can do, I just want to make you guys aware that there are dangers to it as well. So don't just think this is just a complete money maker, like a printing machine with no real downside to it. Like, there are risks for investing into the AMM, for putting your money into the AMM. I think, is it unrealized loss? Something like that. Like, it's something to do with a loss, basically. And it is something where there is a danger to it. But these are like worst case scenarios. But you never know. We're in crypto. You never know. So just be aware of that, because that is just one, potential downside to it. But overall, I do agree with this. Yes, this is something that can make you passive income. So you could be having your XRP in the AMM if you feel safe with it and you've checked out the positives and the negatives and you're happy to do that. And it could be generating you passive income. So you're not having to sell the XRP, but yet you're still making money off of the XRP without having to sell it. So this could be huge. Like, think about it like this. Again, for people who don't want to sell the XRP, what you could do is put the money into the AMM. You make your passive income, and then whatever you make from the passive income, maybe you just think, okay, either I'm going to use that to help me with my life, depending on how much you're earning. I don't know how much XRP you have, so I don't know how much it's going to generate for you. But you could, on the other side, think, okay, whatever this passive income gets made from the AMM, I'm just going to stack that up and I'm going to be willing to sell that XRP, right? That XRP could be the XRP that I'm willing to sell. So let's just say you're in the AMM for, let's just say 6 months. Let's just say you're in for 6 months before the bull run comes along. And let's just say you generate 1,000 XRP from the AMM and you've never sold that XRP. The bull run comes, you can say, hey, I've got 1,000 XRP here that I've generated. I've not had to sell my XRP to do this. I've just generated it as passive income. I'm willing to sell that XRP in the bull run. Do you see what I'm saying? So the opportunity is definitely there in that sense. And another point that he made is, you could use that passive income to go into something else like property or whatever. So definitely, he's making a great point there. It is obviously going to come down to how much XRP you invest in terms of how much you're going to make. So that is going to be very dependent on how much you actually end up earning through the passive income. But the opportunity is there. So I do agree with that. As I say, just remember there is a downside to it. There is a danger to it. So make sure that you're understanding that before you go in. Don't just think that this is, foolproof and there's no downside to it. There are potential dangers. So just make sure you understand that. But yeah, I definitely think that that is a valid point. Very valid point. And it is a great idea if you don't want to sell your XRP, but you still want to somehow make money from it without having to sell it. I think that's a great idea. So finally, he just talks about having a plan and an exit strategy. And then he talks about the exit strategy course that he's done and how, it went really well. So thought I'd just mention that because that's something that he's promoting, and I thought fair enough, I'm covering his video, so it's only fair that I cover that too. In terms of having a plan, again, as I said earlier, I completely agree. To me, in terms of you having a plan, regardless of whatever crypto you're in, it's going to be the difference of whether you're successful or whether you miss your opportunity, right? Like it really is that big a deal, because if you're sitting there getting greedy, thinking the market's never going to come down, well, look at what we've gone through. Like, this thing is possible. So don't be blinded. Like, if you're new to this market and you've just recently come into crypto or whatever, don't think when things are going well that it's never going to end. It will. It will, and it will end badly. When things go so euphoric, there's a huge drop that comes along with it, right? So it will eventually come down. So I'm not saying that like this is going to end badly overall. This is just how the market works. Like, you have a huge rise, you have a huge dump. That's just how this goes. But all I'm saying is being prepared is going to help you make the most of this opportunity. And one thing I will just make you guys aware for this. Look, just understand this. You're never going to buy the bottom and you're never going to sell the top. Get that in your mind from now, because the main reason why a lot of people miss their opportunity in these bull runs or in these bear runs is because they keep thinking things are going to go lower or things are going to go higher, and they end up missing the opportunity. That's generally the mistake that people make. They think this is the bottom. No, it's going to go lower. I'm going to wait for it to go a bit lower. It doesn't go lower. It goes higher. Then it's going up. The price is going up. Oh, I'm going to hold on a bit longer. It's going to go higher. It's going to go higher. You've missed your chance. You've hit the top. It's going to go lower. So having a strategy in mind, and this is just simplify things, like thinking of a price that you think it can go to and sticking to that price. So maybe just looking at videos and seeing what chart analysts are saying as what they think's reasonable for the price, keeping an eye on that kind of, that kind of idea. Or even if it's just your own, like even if it's just your own idea, like if XRP gets to this price, I will sell no matter what. Like, I don't care if it goes higher after that, I will sell. Just stick into that conviction, because you might come out and sell and then see that XRP goes higher and you might be like, oh man, look, see, I could have got more. Yeah, you could have got more, but at the same time, if you'd have waited, would you have waited and waited and waited, thinking it's going to forever go high, and then the price completely plummets and you miss your chance altogether? Do you see what I'm saying? So that's where you've got to be careful. You don't want to be too greedy, right? Same with being fearful. If the price is low, you might think, oh, I'm scared to get in right now. I'm scared. I'm just going to wait. And then the price just starts flying up. You've missed your chance, right? If the price just starts dramatically rising, you've already missed a lot of the multiplier effect. So a lot of the profit that you could have made, it's gone now. And so these are the general mistakes that people make when investing. So you've got to make sure that you've got to have some kind of plan in place. And that's how you're going to really optimize your potential here. That's the best way to do this. So in terms of having a plan, completely agree. I think that's a great idea. I think that's how you're going to make the most of this opportunity, because it does come and go. It's not going to hang around for you. And if you're not, on the money, it's a potential that you might miss out. So a good video here by Lewis. And as I say, for the most part, I do agree. In terms of XRP, as I said, each to their own, man. Like, I'm not here to tell people what to do. I just give people my perspective and what I think. Whether you guys agree with that or not, obviously that's your choice. I understand, like, with the XRP community, it is a very diverse community in terms of what they believe is going to happen and not happen. So there's a lot of ideas out here and what people are expecting. So for me, I'm just giving you my 2 cents on what I think. Make of that what you will. But nonetheless, the points that have been made here, very fair points. Very fair points. So good video by Lewis. But what do you guys think? XRP making you rich through passive income. Do you like the sound of this? Do you agree with Lewis and think that this can make you rich? Do you think that this is going to be something that's great for XRP's price overall long term? Or do you not agree with this? Is there any points that's being made in this video by myself or Lewis that you don't agree with? Or do you just not think that this is actually going to be anything that's good for XRP's price overall long term? Let me know your thoughts, guys. I'd be interested to hear. Thank you very much for watching this. If you did like it, please remember to drop a comment, like, and subscribe. But until next time, take care.